You are listening to the Sports Goombahs show at sgshow.net. Give us a call, give us a text, 267-563-2893. Tonight we'll be talking some Eagles-Panthers roundup, talking some Week 7 NFL football. We'll have all the Lamar Odom updates. Just kidding, no, we won't. World Series and more. And now, your host, Cashy the King.
Yeah. Cashy the King here. I got my chef to the left, Brendan B. And this is Sports Goombahs show, live from the 515 studios, buried somewhere deep in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Ranting and beefing sports, what we do here. You want to talk about that and more, you just give us a call. And what are the phone numbers, Mikey?
That's 267-563-2893, Cash.
That's right. That's the Sports Goombahs hotline. Tweet, call us in. Actually, you can tweet us on Twitter at where, Mikey?
At Sports Goombahs.
There you go. And now, without further ado, this is the Sports Goombahs coming to you. That's a different intro for us this time, right?
Right, a little curveball.
Yeah, a little more excitement and stuff like that. Well,
so he's the announcer, you're the host, I'm the model.
You're the chef.
You're the chef, man. Cook us up something, man. Get a brew going here because we're gonna need a brew for tonight.
I don't want to mention. I thought we'll be making our picks later show. I tried to mention at the beginning because we didn't do so hot last week, both of us.
The horror show.
But we'll get them back.
The horror show out there.
And also Wall Report.
Yeah, got the Wall Report coming up later on. I sat back, relaxed yesterday, and watched the NFL. It was a rotten day of football. I didn't see anything good. The games that were televised in our area were blah, until later on, and it got even worse. But I'll tell you what, I did watch. I did get up and watch the Yahoo broadcast of the Buffalo Bills Jaguars game in London. I gotta tell you, I liked it.
The stream was good quality.
Very quality. Yeah, that's what I say. Good quality.
Not
only good quality, but it gives you have options while you're watching it. Number one, you got your internet all over the place, and you square it out right on your screen. You got your fantasy up there. You got the game going on, and you could split screen. You can watch them two different screens if you want to.
I was watching on my phone.
Yeah.
And it's funny because later throughout the day, I was checking scores from other games because I was helping a friend move, so I wasn't always home at one point. And I'm like, I would click on the game. I'm like, why can't I stream it? I'm like clicking on why isn't it streaming? I was like, oh yeah, that's only one game. And it makes you think. I was like, man, if I could stream every game just by clicking on my app, that would be amazing.
I would never watch it on the broadcast. Now, here's the other thing too. The announcers were pretty cool too. They weren't overdone like Joe Buck. Did you see Joe Buck yesterday do the game? He didn't shut up the whole time. It was hard. It was terrible. It got to a point now. I was just listening to see what other bullshit he would say, and he just never stopped. He never took a breath. And he's doing that thing, Bill. I told you to do in hockey. He called the 4:00 game. The 4:00, and he's doing that thing where the guy's running. He's talking about his dad and what college he went to while he's going down the sidelines. I'm like, nah, come on, man, just shut up and let's watch the football game. Too much. But back to the Yahoo thing, I think they should. They got something going there with that.
Yeah, that was fun. And for a meaningless game like the Jaguars Bills, yeah.
And it's got to be, to me, less costly to do that if you're streaming on the internet.
Yeah, it's different. Like television works, it's all much more expensive.
What did I see? I saw no FanDuel, no DraftKings doing that whole broadcast. They couldn't do it on Yahoo. They didn't have a contract or something there. But Yahoo has its own fantasy stuff going on.
That's why you're mentioning it. They have their own thing now. And you mentioned last week how you're surprised nobody else has jumped up and tried to do this. Yeah.
And this week, Yahoo came up, and ESPN even pumped up their fantasy now, and a few other ones came up. I don't know the names of them offhand, but I heard commercials for them. They weren't. So everybody's going to start jumping in on this thing now.
Everybody wants to cash in because they know the windfall's coming. You know what I mean?
It's not.
Well, they're gonna do something. They're gonna modify it soon in the next year. That's for sure.
Well, remember at one point, and I think you mentioned this last week, it was a fantasy weekly thing. Okay, we had your weekly team, and it wasn't that extreme. It was more of it was pick your fantasy team for that night, and it was you got involved for a couple $. Now it's become so big that everybody's involved with it, and I know everybody I know, all the guys I know are playing it.
Yeah,
and they're bitching about it, but they're all playing it. Yeah, but they're playing it. Yeah, so and I'm thinking, and it's going to be it's nothing more than gambling. Like we said, you're betting on the outcome of a game, and it's okay to take your money. And the worst thing about it is they keep taking your money, and then when you have no more money, you can't play anymore. You know what I mean? And if you look at real bookies that do it. At least, you know what I mean? If you're losing them, they at least give you a little bit of a rope. You know what I mean? They don't want you to go away. Like, you know, for instance, casinos and these gambling sites, once you're out of dough, we don't want to hear from you no more. You know, it's not like FanDuel's going to give you a hotel that you stay over. You know, they're not going to give you any comps like that.
Get kicked to the curb.
Yeah, you're kicked to the curb, and it's so much worse than the corner bookie is.
Yeah.
Because the one thing about a corner bookie, he'll always give you, you know, all right, I'll let you play just to keep you around so you keep on paying. Because these guys don't care if you pay. If you're done, you're done. You know what I mean?
They already got your money.
That's what makes it so dangerous. You know.
You know what I thought was the most interesting to take out of that whole thing was, we had talked about it before about how realistic or unrealistic it would be for like a division to be in Europe because of the time difference. They're proven that they can probably carry that time zone difference
as long as full division.
Well, if you had one full division that would play most of their games over there in their time zone, because it's only a 5-hour difference between here and England. So if you figured you're playing once a week, one day travel time, I mean, it'd be bitch to do a Monday night to Sunday night to Thursday night game.
If you're going to do it, you got to do it with one team. You can't do a full division of it because it's just going to be too much. If you did one team, you always, the way they have it now is, you know, whenever you're going there, you come back to the bye.
Yeah,
and that's fine. And if you do that, you know,
but you would have
the one team. You have the London Monarchs, whatever their name, or something stupid would be, and you go out there, you play them, and then you always come back the next week to the bye. The only problem that comes into is weeks 1, 2, 3, and you know.
That's where you would play your divisional games. That's what I was saying. You know, it would make it. I'm sure there's some analytical way to do it that you would be able to figure out how to do it. And to me, they're making like they're leaning towards that.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. That's a great idea. And it's like you have to.
And for once, it's finally a good game. Granted, the teams weren't great. You know, some sloppy football, but at least finally it was a good ending. There's some scoring. Because right now, if we go over there and we keep throwing the Bills and Dolphins and the Titans and Jags, and it's 17-11 final. That's not. I'm leaving that game like that wasn't that great. I don't want to see.
Let me tell you something. I have some friends who are real Buffalo Bills fans, and Rex is starting to lose his mojo over there. The play calling is atrocious, man.
But it's like with soccer trying to come this way. Like
if
you watch they bring Manchester United against Liverpool here. It's a 1-0 final. We're like, okay, that was fine.
They're going ape shit over there.
With the 5-4 final, we're American. Oh yeah, that was awesome. 9 goals and there's a scoring and action. And that's kind of how it was, with the game this week. Is a great ending, good, a blown lead, a comeback, and scoring. I thought it was an entertaining game.
Yeah.
All in all.
Yeah, and it's 9 o'clock. We're rolling out. I'm out of bed. Put the laptop on.
I don't set my alarm for those games ever. When I wake up, I tune in middle of the second quarter sometimes.
Yeah, I just rolled over and the laptop's next. I put on the game.
That's like 15 hours of football. if you wake up for it and watch all the way through Sunday night, I can't do 9 a.m. to midnight.
That's what Sundays are for. I mean, Sundays in the wintertime up until late February, early February. It's football. That's what it's
Not 15 hours. I don't want 15 hours of anything.
Well, I got to absorb everything so I can blow the gate here.
Okay, so let's get to it. Last night I was watching a game. I got so pissed off. I turned on The Walking Dead, and I get even more pissed off.
Here's the thing.
Spoiler alert there for everybody else, but
somebody dropped dead for The Walking Dead, didn't they?
Yeah.
They really died.
Yeah,
that's a guy getting into his character. That's for sure, man.
It's just to the point where what is the most frustrating thing that you have seen now
on the Eagles?
Yes.
Just a lack of talent, really.
To me, I don't know how. Now, I've been beefing about the quarterback, and it wasn't all his fault yesterday, but he still doesn't show me that leadership thing. He doesn't give me that solid power, like he's going to take control of the team. But, you have 8 guys dropping passes. Now, is it the quarterback and the way he's throwing the ball, or how did these guys get to the NFL dropping? How did Matthews make it through the draft? Get drafted. I mean, you're going to say Chip Kelly blew the draft? Well, he didn't draft him. He did draft him. But, what point did these guys prove that they could catch a football? I mean, but it's not all of them. I mean, even Sproles is dropping one. So, to me, I want to blame the quarterback, but I'm not going to here. But he does throw an awkward pass. He does not have any kind of arc on his passes. Okay? In some cases, you need to do that. And I've spoken to other people about it, people in the know, and they agree. that his passes are all laser shots. He tries to
Who
pump.
do you know in the know? Are you pal with Jaworski?
Well,
You have friends who watch football just like we do. You don't have friends who know.
When I say conversation with Dark Gun, some other people, okay, I have people who do Eagles work, and they agree with me. They say, yeah, you got a point that he does not throw a good pass. He throws behind receivers a lot too.
Yeah, look at Pete Manning the past 5 years hasn't done a spiral since 2006.
I can't say the two names in the conversation. I won't do it.
No,
together in the same sentence.
In 2015, you probably can't because Bradford's probably better than Manning in 2015.
No. Manning is what he is. He's 6-0, 7-0, right?
No,
6-0. He's 6-0. That's what he is. Bradford's not 6-0.
He's not 6-0.
You are what your record says you are.
6-0.
Whatever. He's part of the team and he's 6-0.
But my point is, he has one of the ugliest balls in the NFL, but he gets caught because his talent around him is good. Demarius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders aren't dropping those balls.
I understand that stuff. And like I said, I can't blame Bradford for last night. I can't. But I know. Looking at him as a quarterback, he's not bringing his team back. He might bring us to a field goal position, but he's not putting it in the end zone. His red zone work sucks. 100% sucks. 10 interceptions. Not NFL-ish. You can't be a quarterback in the NFL throwing 10 picks after 7 games. You can't do it. You're bench.
That's not true because Eli Manning is a king.
Stop pulling the guys who got the rings on. They're capable.
Eli Manning throws 20 picks a year.
Yeah, okay, but this guy isn't Eli Manning. He doesn't have.
You said you can't be an NFL quarterback.
You can't.
I'm telling you can't do this.
Yeah, but you're taking it out of context.
But my point is, you need to score. You can throw 20 picks, but you got to score more.
Right.
We're not scoring.
Right. When you throw interceptions in the red zone, you're done.
Not even just interceptions in the red zone. We had 3 interceptions last night. The defense had a good game. I know you hate them, of course.
No, I like the defense. I got no problem with the defense. The defense is playing their game.
Bend, don't break. This is awful.
Well, no. You know what it is? Is it not bend, don't break?
They had 3 interceptions. They had to play.
But is it not? I understand the interceptions, Mike. But is it bend, don't break? Are they letting the stuff up front happen?
Yeah, because they didn't get a shutout. So correct. You're right.
No, you have to understand the bend, don't break means you let everything go on in front of you, and you protect yourself from the big play.
Their defense plays good enough to win every single week.
But they haven't.
Yeah, but their defense.
But it's not the defense's fault.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
I'm listening.
We scored 3 points off the interception. 3 points off this interception.
Like I said, you know what? I can't rant anymore. You guys want to rant on this? The team sucks. The quarterback is no good. Receivers can't catch, and the wrong running back is playing in this game. How Ryan Matthews is not playing football for this team? He is not the feature back right now. How much money is being tossed back and forth here? He's averaging 7.7 yards a touch when he touches the ball. It is what it is.
All that's misleading. I really do.
It is. Well,
it's all misleading because he's getting the ball in more favorable situations. He's getting the ball on 3rd and 14 when they're doing draw plays, and no one's. That's why his yards per catch is better because he's getting the handoffs in more favorable situations.
Murray's
getting
he's
every single first down is that stupid off tackle sweep. We know what's coming.
Well, I don't.
He gets 3 yards.
Well, good. Well, good. Well, fine. Whatever it is, it is. If he can't play in that position, you got to do something else. That's part of what's going wrong here. Don't run the ball like that on first down.
I agree. Chip Kelly's had awful play calling. Yeah. It's not Murray's fault.
It's everybody's fault on this team. Okay, Murray, when he gets the ball, doesn't look like he's pounding in there like he did in Dallas last year, where the line is good.
The guy ran for 120 yards.
Okay, yeah, he had one good game. I don't want to go back to what happened 2 weeks ago with him. I want to go what I saw yesterday for him again. I saw twinkle toes, not cutting corners. That's what I saw. I don't know what you saw, but that's what I saw in the game.
I don't want him to cut the corners. I want him to get through that
hole
that's there. I mean,
but then you can't play him in the shotgun either. That's not about either.
No.
Let's not forget, we went up against one of the best defenses in football.
Who had a weak game. I mean, they weren't on their top game yesterday, offense and defensively.
Offensively, no.
We should have beat them.
That's a game we should have won.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
You're playing against a team that, first of all, isn't that great to begin with. I know they're undefeated, but they're not that great. And Ken goes 3 picks. You have to win that game.
It's falling.
You have to win that game.
Exactly.
It's falling apart. The whole thing's falling apart. Okay.
I'm not gonna go that far yet, only because the NFC East is so bad. It's not.
Okay.
The only thing is.
When I say it's falling apart, they could make the playoffs on default and get one of those.
They're not going to get a wild card. They'd have to win the division to get the wild.
And they can win the division the way the division is right now. But that doesn't mean anything forward. That means playoff. No. Okay, we're in the playoffs, and they say once you. No, I mean. Listen, I don't want them in the playoffs like this.
Do I think they're a horrible team? No. I think they're an average team. And I think that's a difference. Because if they're going to end up like 8-8 or 7-9, that's right around average. Or even if they're 9-7, still right around average, give or take. Because let's face it, there's one game where they should have won. They should have won. They didn't. There's a game that they could have won that they shouldn't have won. You know what I mean? It could go one game swing either way. So this is just an average team, and that's all it is. I'm not saying they suck. But I'm because Bradford could come back in 2 weeks and have a pretty good game. A pretty good game, which he had a pretty good game today. But the difference is, like he said, the 2 catches, 1 touchdown. It's a difference. It's a huge difference.
I wish I could the stats of this pretty good game. What was it 50 passer rating, however that's put together? But we don't do stats. I'm just saying. If you had a good game, he'd be up in the 80s, 90s maybe, but 50.
Well, when I say pretty good game, I mean that I can't blame him for the loss because I can't. Look, there were 4, and I went, oh, my God, you got it. And I started keeping track, and I was up to 5. I think he catches that.
The one thing you don't see about him, and you only get to see it when you watch Ray Didinger pointed out a day later or something, or one of these shows, is that he misses the open receiver.
Yes.
Not that he doesn't miss him with the pass. He don't even see him. And they pointed out several times last night.
Checkdowns are horrible.
Horrible. Yeah. And that's part of being a good quarterback.
Sadly, it's all he can do is check down because literally
nobody's getting open.
This might be the worst crop of receivers in football. It
What,
might be the worst.
You know what?
And that's including the Panthers, who
Cooper's your best receiver, as far as hands are concerned. I mean,
they don't put the ball.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's what it's come down. And
it's really bad.
Miles Austin is the man.
No, he's not.
Well, I'm just saying.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I was at the point where I was like, okay, well, they threw to Austin. At least he caught it. At least I know he can catch the ball.
Yeah, he didn't. He probably dropped 1 2 plays later.
Right.
And then I went, oh my God! And you could sit there and go, hey, somebody caught it. Give it to him again. You know what I mean?
I think to go as far as how is Jordan Matthews in the league is way too far. And obviously, that's an idiotic thing to say. And you're not the only one who's saying.
No, I'm saying no. That's what I'm
There's
saying.
a lot of people saying like, how did this guy?
No, what?
Professional
No,
football?
well, I'm not saying that. When I say things like that, okay, I'm making a point.
It's just you. No,
I'm making a point that where an NFL player doesn't.
Awful game.
First of all, the rule of a wide receiver is it's simple, okay? And Odell Beckham does it the best. If you can touch it, you can catch it. Okay, now I know balls, and I don't like when balls thrown behind players, and I don't like when wide receivers are laid out to get splattered. And that's what he does a lot too. He's throwing behind. When you throw behind a guy, he has to turn away from what's in front of him, and he gets splattered after he catches it. And sometimes you don't catch it. Or in your mind, you're scared to shit when you know 3 or 4 guys are merging on you. It's just natural when you got to turn back to get a ball when you're running this way. You can't have that. That's key in the NFL.
Yeah, like you said, Bradford, by no stretch of the imagination, had even an okay. I think it was a bad game. Again, but I'm not saying it's not his fault.
Right,
100%.
You have a quarterback like that, you got to start putting in the positions where he can work.
I mean, there's no separation.
Right.
You're never just a wide open guy who just beats his guy. That's the thing. We don't have burners. We have quote unquote possession guys.
Yeah.
Who are drop. How do possession receivers drop balls?
Focus.
If they're not speed guys and not possession guys, are they some kind of Marvin Harrison-esque route runners? I don't think so. Then what are they? What do you bring to the table if you're not one of those 3 things? You have to one of the 3rd.
Well,
otherwise, you're there.
Here's the thing. Matthew showed some spark last year.
Yeah,
okay?
in the first 3-4 games, right. He had catching 8 balls a game.
And the balls were coming to him nice too. So he's the kind of guy, obviously, he's the kind of receiver that has to have the ball laid in there for him. He's got to hit him in the chest or out in his hands. He can't go back and turn for a ball or go down low and pick one out off the ground. He's not that receiver.
You can't make the excuse of it's cold, my hands it's not there, we're not there yet. You can't use the excuse of, and again, I mean, these gloves that they wear these days are literally the closest thing you get to stick them without being stick them. These gloves, if the ball touches you, you catch it.
Who's the other receiver for the Giants who tried to made a bet? Was that Randall? Or the third receiver did a Beckham catch? He went after with one hand. He even put the other hand out there. Yeah, it was Randall. He put the hand out. He just stuck the one hand out. It was almost like the football stuck to it.
But I was watching a lot of the Patriots game, and Brandon LaFell, it was his first game back. He dropped 7 passes. Yeah. He alone dropped 7, and that's from Brady. You're not blaming the ball.
Right.
These receivers,
maybe it wasn't.
I don't know what's going on with these receivers.
Maybe it wasn't inflated.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of drop balls in the NFL now. And
I think again, we don't really know. We can only go off a couple preseason stats, but they're missing Aguilar. I mean, he was the guy who was supposed to have the talent, the speed, and all that. He's supposed to have everything, and we haven't been given a chance. Yeah, I mean, we had what 2 catches all year or something like that. I mean,
Oh, he's hurt. I have him in fantasy,
you should have more. You should have done him.
Well, I should.
But yeah, I'm not saying it's just like inactivity. I'm not saying it's because they're not throwing the ball. I know it's because he's not playing. I know that. What I'm saying, but that's a guy who is like the skilled guy. The rest of these guys, Huff and all these guys, and Cooper and Austin, these aren't like overly physical specimens that are supposed to be stars. They're just kind of here. Huff is here because of the college he went to. I don't know why Cooper's here, and I guess Miles Austin's a good raw character guy.
Well, no, it's because they wanted, I guess, a veteran guy. But my biggest fear is this. Maybe maybe my fear from Bradford is I think I can see his point of views in him, like, and I understand his frustrations. I also think that because I've seen flashes of brilliance here and there, that there's something there, but I don't know if he's capable of doing it anymore.
I'd rather him stay bad. I really don't want to slam so hard.
And they're not going.
Exactly.
So just stay bad. Don't even start putting together a string of 4 or 5 hot games.
But
because now he's going to be making $20 million.
On the last play,
he'll be the next Jay Cutler.
Yeah, on the last play of the game.
Years into a gun, why?
Yeah. On the last play of the game, he could. I mean, he had a hard time launching it. So, and that was like everything he had.
Right.
So I was sitting there going, it was like an alley-oop, and it didn't even make the end zone. It was a good 20 yards short. I looked at that and went, oh,
right.
That ain't an arm. I mean, and I think that if you're just hauling off and throwing it, and you don't even give a shit where it goes half the time, like for one of those plays, that you should at least reach the end zone 45 yards in the air. I'm guessing it was.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I sat there and I watched this game last night. I'm just, I have no more to say. I don't know what the fix is. I just think you don't have talent. You don't have talent. You don't have talent. NFL, if you don't have talent, it starts to come out.
That's on Chip the GM.
Yeah, absolutely. That's him. I like Chip, but I think he does. If you look at him, day one this year, game one, his face now to what he looks like today or yesterday, he looks a little beaten. He's not snappy like he used to be, and I guess that comes with losing.
Oh yeah.
His answer for why Matthews didn't play yesterday or get enough carries. First, it was he had said something about being injured, and no one knows anything about him having a groin pull or something like that. And then the other thing was he wasn't, Deuce down in the beginning, in the first press conference last night, he said, "Oh, that's Deuce's to put him in."
Yeah.
So when is Deuce down?
Deuce does the rotation. So.
He does the rotation. Well, hey, wait a minute, man. If things aren't working, as a head coach, you have to step into that. This when is Deuce running shit back there?
Well, I understand in a hurry-up offense that you're not going to be involved in every single thing like that.
When they tough throwing bad,
but and that would be my next point. I don't see the hurry-up offense that he played with all last year.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I was just going to say it. I haven't seen any of that.
And when this team was successful, it was because they were draining out other players and all that. Right. And that's the only time I've seen this team successful.
Nick's caught up with them a little bit.
Well, it's not that. He goes to the line, and then he still takes another 20 seconds to run a play.
He's not confident, man. He's not confident in what he's doing back there.
You can't be confident.
Yeah.
You're playing that role, you're not going to be confident.
And you don't have the, you don't know what's going on. And another thing could be you don't know what's going on in front of you, too. You can't read defenses. That's key, too. I don't know if he can or he can't. Doesn't look like he can because he's panicking out to his third read all the time. Now, he's also, and I pointed that out yesterday, when it happened, is that his pocket closed around him but left him openings in front. Now, one time he took off and ran and got a first down.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
I almost had a heart
attack. He ran out
attack.
of pocket. 2 other times, he didn't step up. He had a whole opening in front of him. He stood there. He could have either run the ball or thrown it.
And he did. He threw the one, and it was in the ground.
In the ground, right.
Because he wasn't set.
Right.
But he could have got a good 7 to 10 yards and slid, and he still didn't.
Even if he attempted to go forward and maybe didn't get to the line of scrimmage, you pull a defensive back off the receiver or a linebacker away from what they're doing, and now you have an open receiver maybe out there. But that never happened. He threw it away. He panicked. He looks like he panics when that's what it looks like to me. I don't know any other way to put it.
Yeah, but I just one of these times, like it's like when they showed the play where they did fake bootleg or whatever, and they passed it off to the right. They handed it off, and everybody went, and he does that fake run and nobody buys it.
Any quarterback you ever had, nobody bought it. Vic a couple times in the beginning.
But wouldn't you just like for shits and giggles just to see what would happen because nobody thinks they're going to do it? I want them to see him run. I just want to see it. You know why? Because then I want to see him get plastered. You know what I mean? I still want to see it.
At the end of the day, I mean, the season comes down to the next 4 games. Right. I mean, you have your bye, so you have all this time to prepare for Dallas. You're still not going to have Rome, though. After that, I mean, you have the Dolphins, Buccaneers, Lions. Granted, the Dolphins look much better than they were.
What happened to them yesterday, man?
New coach, and look what happened.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, that's a 4 games where you can and have to go 3-1. And if you go 3-1, you're back over 500. You're probably leading the division going into your beatdown against Patriots, which is going to happen.
I don't. You say that, and everybody, and I've heard that before, and we hope that that's what happened here locally. But if you look at this team, who are they to beat anybody?
No, I'm not saying that they should go 3-1. You have to go 3-1 if you want to be a real team.
Yeah, I mean they have to score points here. This team is all about. And
Detroit's awful.
I know last week they scored 30 points, but it wasn't that the typical Chip Kelly 30 points. Did they score 30 this week?
No, like
27.
27-7. Remember that?
27-7. Okay, I thought they put 30 up last week. Well, regardless, I mean the points are coming so. I don't know how to say this.
Sporadically.
They're coming from defense, not coming from the typical big plays that we saw the first 2 years of this offense. Where it was big plays down the field, up and down the field, bang, bang, bang.
We got rid of the town.
Right. Well, one of the town, I don't know if Jackson is considered town anymore. He doesn't play for Washington, and now he's running shit out there in L.A. I don't want to say too much. I don't know what kind of
in L.A.
What kind of extension? Well, whatever happened to his house in L.A. He got stormed by gang members or something like that. I don't know.
Robbed, right?
Yeah,
it was
home invasion.
It was a beating out there. It was a brawl inside the house.
Pretty cool picture.
So there's something, yeah. So there's something there to what the Eagles did. You know, everybody blamed the Eagles for like dumping on him real quick because they didn't have evidently there's something to that, but this can continue on. So regardless, and I still heard yesterday too after the game, Deshaun Jackson, he's gone. He's 3 years gone. Okay, 2 years gone. Whatever. He's not coming back. So don't talk about what he did and what he didn't here. And if he was here, would he be playing? Would he be injured? Who knows?
Would he be hurt? Would he
be a distraction? Would he be ruined? Would he be doing the Des Bryant on the sideline? Who knows? But he's not here, so we can't talk about him anymore. Same thing with McCoy. McCoy's down in Buffalo. He's stuck in Buffalo. Buffalo. Well, over in Buffalo. And he's a Buff, whatever. He's in Buffalo with that nitwit Rex. 2 of them could fade away in the NFL oblivion in the next 3 or 4 years, but neither of them will be heard of. That's for sure. Rex.
No, I haven't been following. Is McCoy even playing still? Or
yeah,
he had a game last
yeah.
week. I don't know who did this week.
Nah, he didn't do what. I think he had one big run. He had a touchdown, I think. In the I could check that. I'm not sure. One eye was just opening. I think I saw him score. But
I mean, around the NFL yesterday, you said it wasn't a good day of action.
Well, you know what? Oh, nothing I could see. You know what I mean? Maybe there were some of the lesser teams that went out of each other had good games, like Oakland and San Diego. Really surprised me.
Yeah.
I thought San Diego, after watching them almost take down the Packers and throw the ball, but I didn't. And it wasn't like it was a defensive game, 37-29. It's not a defensive game, so they just pounded each other back and forth. But Carr's the real deal out there. He's getting better and better. He's starting to become a decent quarterback for the Raiders, I think. I mean, he's starting to put up some numbers now. I know because I have him on the bench on my fantasy team, and he's doing better than Eli when it comes to numbers. Yeah. So awful. It's going to maybe time to just let Eli slide away because the Manning name ain't working for the back of his jersey. So the other game too that was surprisingly, I mean, Miami came out and that game against Houston looks closer than it was. I mean, it was 41 to nothing at the half. Right. And nobody's playing defense in Houston. I mean, JJ, man, he's not,
2 sacks.
That's great.
He still showed up.
He showed up.
But it's hard to play 1 on 11.
Yeah. And nobody scored. I don't know how. I don't even. The game was off the radar when it was 44-1.
There was 3 garbage touchdowns. Speaking of garbage touchdowns, how about one? I think at this point the biggest fraud in the NFL this year is Andrew Luck.
Yeah, what happened to
him? He has been awful. You were at home against the Saints, who are not a good defense. And yeah, you ended up throwing like 2 or 3 touchdowns because you threw it all in the fourth quarter.
Is he working? Is he physically there? Or they put him back to
if you're playing the game, I don't care if you're not physically healthy.
His arm doesn't look the same.
But if you're not healthy, then don't play.
Right. Well, when your season's starting to go down the drain and Indianapolis is panicking.
Well, the same thing that happened. It was 2 weeks ago when I was watching Red Zone and with Mariota when he got hit. He got blatantly a low shot, his knee, hurt his MCL. The man couldn't walk, but they kept playing him, and he couldn't throw, he couldn't do anything. But they kept him in the game, ended up losing. And then after the game, they announced, okay, he does have a messed up MCL. No shit, we all saw that.
Yeah.
If you're hurt, get the hell out of the game.
Right.
And Andrew, if your arm's hurting, you get the hell out of the game.
Yeah,
because you have 3 wins. I think 2 of them were by Hasselbeck.
Right.
He's out winning. He's out. He has more wins than you. If you can't score against the Saints at home, get out of here. Go away.
Yeah, he's definitely not.
And this is the guy who's supposed to be the next one.
He's not last year's luck. He's out of luck, man. I mean,
and said because it's the AFC South, who is the worst by far, even worse than NFC.
He still has a chance.
Winning the division. Winning the division.
Yeah, by default. Yeah.
Well, I forget the exact number, but I saw a stat. Other than playing each other, that division is like 2-14. That's awful.
Yeah.
They can't beat anybody except for themselves. So by default, somebody that had 7 wins and go to the playoffs.
So all in all, we look back on this year's NFL. It's weak. There's a whole way
bunch
too
of
many.
the top, and then
but the top even it's thinned out up there. I mean, when you go past
I say it's thinned out when it's 4 to beat the teams.
That's it. After that,
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying you go. That's 5 teams in the league. After that, 5-0, 6-0. The rest of the league is terrible, man. That's what I mean. It's like there's 10 good teams in football.
I don't want to say terrible. No. The Falcons are still pretty good.
Well, fact, when they lucked out, they got lucky this week. They turned it on a little bit. They got a field goal.
Yeah, that was I can't believe that's hence why we didn't have too good of a week. On our plays.
This is a record breaker, right?
For what?
For most amount of teams in the week 7, right?
Also, I think
Undefeated.
the Jets are still pretty solid. They stayed in there with the Patriots for the most part.
Well, that tells you right there that the rest of the league is so bad because all those teams that are undefeated, of course, they haven't played each other. And that's a lot of teams that haven't played each other yet.
Yeah, they're going to start to play.
Right, like the Packers this week played Denver. That'll be interesting.
Sunday night game, right?
Yeah, that's a game and a half. And that's Packers. We're gonna win that game. I don't think
we're gonna win.
No, Denver. I mean, I like the Packers this week.
You did use the line of "we're gonna win this week," right?
There. It was there. Not where. I'm not a part of it.
I
don't play for that team. You see shoulder pads on me?
That's what I was gonna say. When did you become?
I'm not gonna throw a ball 40 yards.
See maxi pads on you, but not shoulder pads.
I can still throw a bullet, and that's it. One after the first one.
That's it. I'm done.
No more.
I'm done.
That's it.
I don't need to throw anymore. It's so freaking pretty.
Just in case I get caught on that side. Yeah. Next week will be a good week of football. I think there's a lot of good matchups. So, all right, let's take a break. When we come back, we got the Wall Report. I'm gonna try to see if I can make some money for somebody this week. You know what I mean? Sports Goombahs. I am Cash the King. I got my chef left, Brendan B. And, we're going to be right back in a couple minutes.
So did you end up going to the game?
Yeah, I want to talk about the Flyers
game.
Let me tell you something. They went to the Flyers Saturday night.
Right? Great game.
I left on purpose at the shootout. I waited for the 3-on-3 when I didn't realize that it was going to be a shootout. I actually in my mind thought 2-on-2 afterwards. I said to the guy next to me, 2-on-2. I said, what are you talking about? I said, never mind. You know what I mean? I said, you kidding me? You're going to do a shootout after this great 5 minutes of hockey?
That whole game was really good.
Well, the Flyers, once again, the Flyers dumping and jumping chase is never more there than that game. They dump and chase, and it was constantly. And they can't. The only way they score B is to slap and smack hockey. They can't set up to the point one timer. They just what it is. They pass each other. They hold the puck for a second and shake instead of going right in with it. You can't give a Lindquist time like that. No way. They would get the Flyers should have a ton. They had so many opportunities. But I call him Vern because I call him Vern Lundquist. I never call him Henry Lundquist. I call him Vern.
Why Vern?
Because Vern was the old football announcer. Remember Vern Lundquist? The game. Yeah, right. Yeah, Vern. He used to do football back in the day.
Did you see? It was just so silly that I had to put it in my notes. Did you see Jeremy Roenick tackle the alligator?
Who was that old guy, man?
I just thought it was so stupid. I'm like, this is.
That's him. He's not as good as Jones and the other guy on TV, so he's got to do other stuff to get his name out there.
Oh, you know what's funny? You and I and a lot of the fans pretty much love this 3-on-3 hockey.
Oh, fucking dope.
Players hate it.
Of course, it wears them down. I know that. That's why they still go to the shootout, because they don't want to go too long like that.
Yeah. Dustin Buffalo is critical.
Yeah, well, look at
It's a
Dustin.
terrible part of hockey.
Cassidy King here. Got the chef to the left, Brendan B. Mike to the wall. Sports Goombahs, 515 studio. Give us a buzz. 267-563-2893 is Sports Goombahs hotline. You want to talk to us? Give us a text. Tweet us at Sports Goombahs. Also on Facebook. Sports Goombahs too. Sports Goombahs everywhere. Just Google the name. Comes up all over the place. Trying to get that Periscope put together. It's practicing, you know, the Periscope, right?
Periscope.
Periscope.
Potato.
How dare I correct you and say things that are wrong?
Not wrong. It's the way I say them.
We're on Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
We're on Twitter.
I say Facebook.
We're live at sportsgoombahs.com.
Anyway, like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by the wall to my right.
You asked me if I heard of Periscope.
I thought yes or no answer.
It's not interrupting.
Yes or no? What are you, Clinton?
Yes
or no? I asked a question, yes or no?
Yes, I know about
My answer will be check out the Fantasy Football Show on Wednesday. We're going to be giving away free Temple Owls tickets.
Did I hear about it? Periscope? Yes, I twatted about it last week on Facebook.
Come on.
Anyway,
We're going to bleep for that one.
on Periscope, whatever the scope. I'm trying to work it out so we can have it pinned up in the corner here so anyone can watch from wherever they're at. You know, different segments and things like that. It's pretty interesting. It's,
I have no idea about Periscope.
one invasion of viruses is what it is. it's all off of Twitter.
Yeah, but where it's like a Twitter video thing. But I just have no idea.
All I know is you can get arrested and they can find you for DUI on it. So that's what the girl did.
Yeah.
She while drunk.
Oh yeah, she put it turned it on. She go, I'm gonna go home drinking and driving right now, and people were watching it rat her out.
People feel it necessary, but every move they make on the internet.
I don't understand that.
Yes, you do. It's the way it's people are bored. They want everybody to know. They want to know what it's the thing to do. I mean, it's what people do now. It's what they're focused on. It's letting everybody know what they're doing and finding out what everyone else is doing. Yeah,
They're just starving for attention. It's different.
But you have on there. You have the attention to give. You know, there's so many people looking and watching and doing back and forth. We post stuff on Sundays on the football. We get responses. That's why we're doing it.
Yeah.
Like Mike and I are
interacting with the fans.
Yeah, we don't have sore asses, and we're telling people about it. We have bad cold, or we talk about what we're doing here, not just about the everyday thing.
I'm telling you, you get a great ham and cheese sandwich right now.
Yeah, although the chef does that when you
I
go to the
do
restaurant. Go see the chef over at Steam Restaurant. Where is that? That's in Richboro, PA?
No, Southampton. 606 2nd Street Pike.
Walk in there and say, I want to meet the chef from the Sports Goombahs. He'll come out there and bring you a little French fries or something like that. You know, something good. Right,
French fries, yeah. I'll bring you more than French
That's all he
fries.
does.
all right, well, I'm just giving a little lead.
I believe he's the franchise guru.
Wait.
The French fries guru.
You ever taste his
Guru.
French fries? He cooks it in this peanut butter, oil, whatever that is. Never used to do that?
No.
Okay, then what do you cook them in?
Soil. Soy oil.
Soy oil, yeah?
Soil. It's so hard.
Soy
Like,
oil.
yeah, guarantee. Like, if you're seriously asking, peanut oil is probably the best thing to cook your fries in.
That's why I said it.
But you're gonna kill like people if you do it like that. You
Well,
won't because the peanut allergy is so predominant anymore that the cross contaminate. There's no way.
You can't have it within like 50 yards of her.
Yeah.
Or should I?
Hey, look here. I like it with the peanut oil. I just, I forgot.
Every Wednesday, you can check out the newest Women's Crush Wednesday. You guys should have done that. This would be the lovely Stacey Keebler. We're going to have another one in 2 days. We're always open suggestions as well.
Yeah. Here's a suggestion for you. Okay, suggestion: stay away from me right now on my plates. Okay, that's a suggestion. I gotta keep giving them out. If I stop giving out, I'll never get them back. So what I gotta do is I have to give you out losers for a little bit. Play them, don't play them. It's up to you. Take your chance. Last week on the website, we were 3 and 4. Yeah, Toronto. I don't know what happened to them. They got beat by my other team. The two Dow Jones came together. The worlds collided. I didn't know what to do or which way to go. You know, I should have just taken over and all the.
I was just gonna say when that happens, it's like this.
It's difficult. You know, the pitchers. The pitching was the Kansas City pitching was so good for all those games except one. I split them last week on both on side toes. I had Toronto twice on side toes. I split them. I went for the New York Islanders. They weren't even playing. You know, all I know is they were, minus 165. Islanders right now are my Dow Jones hockey team right now. And them in Nashville. I haven't jumped on Nashville because I'm waiting for them to lose a couple of games in a row first. I'm already behind this for them. Actually, I should have said I was on Nashville in the first 3 games. I was up 600 points with them, and I stopped and jumped on the Islanders. Actually put a few dollars on them tonight on they're playing in Calgary right now. Put them on. I took the game and the side total on that one. Also in football last week, it wasn't good. I had the over in the Giant-Eagle game. That go over? Giant-Eagle game went over last week? No, that went under. New Orleans-Indianapolis game, that went under 52. And Oakland-San Diego.
I would assume that went over.
Yeah.
You took the over?
No, I took San Diego over 25. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. The Giant game, that was Monday night last week, right?
Yes.
That's why it's on my thing. I'm looking on here. Yeah, I'm looking at. Wait a minute. They played yesterday. It was last week's Monday night game. With the late one on that one. So all in all, it was a pretty bad week. There's that 1-4 right there. 1-4 mixed up with a 3-7 is no damn good. Okay. Outright losers.
Either way it translates, it's our fault.
If you're paying your books, get the hell out of town quick. No damn good.
Run, Forrest, run.
Yeah. This week I have a couple games for you. Okay. Tomorrow, the Buffalo Sabres are coming into Philadelphia. Now, me and I had beef back and forth about what I think of the Flyers. I'm still not sold on them yet. I happened to go to the game on Saturday night and sat and watched that action against the New York Rangers. It was always a good hockey game. Yeah. Fans are always in a packed house. Ranger fans, Flyer fans, back and forth. No fights. Didn't see any fights. One of the only times I've ever gone to a Ranger Flyer game where something hasn't brewed in the stands. Except one of the Flyers, I forget who was it, Raffle, who he thought was a fight on the bench because a glove came flying out of the Flyers bench. We thought there was something going on the bench. So we couldn't see because of the way the glass is set up. He had passed out after being hit. A legal hit, by the way. They didn't find was that what's his name? Carcella put the hit on him. He was. Yeah,
I don't know who hit Raffle.
Yeah,
I was talking about the other game with.
No, I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, he passed out on the bench. We didn't know. Anyway, it was a good hockey game, and it was 2-2 going into overtime to 3-on-3. My first game there this year, I'm going to see 3-on-3. The thing that I've been talking about for how long? 3 or 4 years going to 3-on-3.
At least.
I had talked myself into going 3-on-3 in hockey for overtime. That I sat there, and when 3-on-3 didn't work, I turned to God, great 2-on-2. I actually thought in my mind they were going to 2-on-2 because I've talked about it so much.
And then when it's done, goalies against each other.
Yeah, right. You go right down to the chaos. Then they go to the shootout. My buddy and I, he's in from BZI Insurance. I took him out to the hockey game because he's a great advertiser, by the way. I said, go out of here. I'm not watching 3-on-3 for 5 minutes. Like I just saw up and down the ice, good stuff. And now I got to watch a stinking shootout? No, I'm not doing it. Walked right out the door, man. Got in my car, drove out, beat the traffic. I was home and satisfied that I saw a good hockey game.
Yeah, well, it was good. And surprisingly enough, the Flyers did win in the shootout.
Yeah, well, it's a tie. They get the extra point. Yeah, it's no good. The shootout's no good. And no good. They have it. They have the product right there. The fans were going berserk. Just screaming. Everybody's on the feet the whole 5 minutes. You never stop.
Well, ironically, when we were...
Isn't the entertainment value of $100 a ticket supposed to be something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
See, the thing is, ironically, the fans love the 3-on-3. We love it. We think it's one of the best inventions that that hockey's done. The players, not so much. They would like to go 4-on-4 and play till there's a winner. They would like to do a whole period like that. And then if that doesn't work, do the 3-on-3 for 5 minutes and then end it.
I went into a change there on the Flyers.
Lock on the season.
He's got a point. Always better hockey if they lock out the season and play just the playoffs. Anyway, I like the Flyers over Buffalo. The Flyers over Buffalo tomorrow. The Flyers, they look like they can take a team like Buffalo. Buffalo's on the rebuild. The 170, I like the line there. It's not. I thought it would be like 200, but it's not. Flyers aren't worthy of a 200 2-1 type of a game anyway right now. So, but I like the Flyers to come. I don't care about goals tomorrow, which is unusual for me, but I like them coming into Philly, and I'd lay the 170 with 100. Thursday night football, Miami's coming into New England. New England's going to win this football game, but it's not going to be. I think this game's going to be high scoring. Because one thing New England hasn't shown me this year is they're willing to stop somebody. They're still a good defense, but they let you score. They like tease you. That's what you get. Yeah, here's a couple touchdowns. See if you can keep up with us. That's what it looks like. Anyway, they won last week. They won by 7. They even covered the spread, but it felt like they beat them so much worse. But something happened to Miami. They got a new coach. Quarterback seems to be a lot happier, and they scored points against a shitty Houston team. So I don't know if that's it for Gazy or whatever, but New England next week in New England. It's going to be cold, windy, New England. What are you going to do? Miami will lose this game. This game's going to go over 51. I think the Patriots score 30, maybe more. And the Miami scores 20-something, 22, 23, maybe more. It doesn't really matter as long as they don't score more than New England scores. That seems the way it goes this year. Sunday, Green Bay is going into Denver. We talked about it here. We think Peyton Manning, and I just love. He's a player. He's been around for years. He's 14 years in the league, 15 years in the league. Okay, he's Peyton Manning. He's starting to fall apart. Still winning football games, but now Rodgers comes into town. Okay, this is they're both undefeated. It's going to be a good game. It's probably going to be the game of the week next week. What's the 8:30 game, Sunday night game? Mm-hmm. So that's the Sunday night game. So everybody flew to that one. Just goes to prove Monday night's not the night anymore. Sunday night is the football game.
And they proved it for the end of the season. They flexed. I do believe they've already flexed the Eagles-Giants finale to the Sunday night game because they know it's going to mean something.
There's no way they'll flex that.
They were talking about it already. I'm telling you.
Who cares? I mean, that doesn't even matter anyway at this point because neither team might be in the playoffs at that point, or they both might be. Who knows? So I like Green Bay. I'm going to lay the 3 points as Green Bay being a 3-point favorite going into Denver tells me everything I need to know about that game. Very rarely you're going to see Manning starting to get points now. 4 or 5 years ago, I said anytime Peyton Manning's getting points, him, Brady, Rodgers, they're getting points. I'm on them. Not anymore, and that just shows me that reflects what they can say.
Here, 2.5.
Down to 2.5 now.
Grab it now before we get back up to 30.
Wow. Yep. So I like that game. The other game is the Atlanta Falcons had a bad game this week. They didn't score points. Next week they got they're hosting Tampa Bay. Who's the quarterback Tampa Bay?
No, so Winston.
Yeah, he get hit. Mariota. Mariuccia. I'm gonna call Marotti.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I like the Falcons next week. The total on this one's 48. I see Atlanta coming into this thing. Their side total being 25-26. And I don't know if I want to take the winner or loser here, but I feel confident taking the side total on this one. All right, so 25 and 26 should be the side total. That could be 25.5, 26.5, whatever. I just like to land on the side total on that one. So those are my NFL games. We won hockey. Atlanta Falcons on the side total. 25-26 if it's out there. The Green Bay Packers minus the 3 points, going down to 2.5 according to Mikey. So I jump on something over there. New England Patriots over 51, hosting Miami. And the NHL tomorrow, I like the Flyers outright on the money line to beat Buffalo. That's my plays, and that's the way Mikey would be back. Very good. Thank you very much.
I had a rough week. I usually only do one, and I think this is like your sign. I couldn't decide between two, so I just gave both, and they both lost. So that's the thing. If it doesn't jump out to you, and it's not something you love, don't take it. Just prove it again. I couldn't see the Chargers losing at home against the Raiders. Of course, that happened. And then again, just like you said, with the Falcons, all they had to do was win by field goal, 3.5 against Tennessee. I mean, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So I went with I'm not gonna do that again though. I don't think I ever lost to it. I'll never do that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go back to my 4th thing, go back to college. Let's go college games here. Got I believe the 29th, I believe it's Thursday maybe. Thursday night game. Thursday. TCU, 5th in the country. They're at home against West Virginia. West Virginia's awful. They lost 3 straight games. Gotten blown out in all of them. TCU, 7-0, 5th in the country. They're 14-point favorites, but they blow everybody out. The last 3 home games, they won by 30 each. That's against Texas and Oklahoma. They've had big wins. So ride the Horned Frogs, minus 14 as of right now.
Yeah. Right, those are your plays as a pick session. Oh, Magic Card Care. Got to give them a plug this week. Who else? 215-322-2561. Mikey Primo, Matty Litton. That's the business of detailing your car. Check them out at photomagiccarcare.com.
Just a little side thing about that Flyers Buffalo game. Buffalo's got a nice young player there named Jack Eichel. Just keep an eye on Jake Eichel. Sorry. Just keep an eye on him. That kid's going to be good.
Yeah, well, not this week. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow won't happen. Yeah. Watch baseball starting tomorrow. We got the Mets and the Kansas City Royals. New York Mets, Kansas City Royals.
Who didn't see that coming? Who didn't see the Royals?
I didn't. I didn't see the Mets coming. Man. Royals maybe. You know, I like I said, I had both those teams going at each other. I really thought that Toronto was on the run, but in the last couple weeks of baseball and into the playoffs, their bats cooled off a lot. They had a couple games where they had some big innings, but they cooled off a lot. And the series between Kansas City, real good baseball, a lot of controversy here and there. But, the Toronto team will be back next year, obviously. You know, they're not going anywhere fast. They're going to be in contention. And Kansas City, I think it's their time. I think they're going to beat the Mets. I think they'll do it in 6 games with the powerful pitching that they have, along with the hitting. And
I hope the Royals win. Not even from a whole anti-Mets. I really don't care what the Mets at this point. We're not good enough to where it matters. But just because the Royals were close last year, they think
I think when you're in sports now, when you make it to the show, whether it's baseball or football, hockey, whatever, and you lose it, it's so hard to get back there. And they did it. They got back there, and they got back there with authority. They ran the table from day one till where they're at now. They were in first place, and they were hot right off the bat. They never cooled off. They cooled off with me a little bit because I got greedy, whatever. But still, they ran the table, and I think that, I wouldn't be surprised if they do it in 5 games.
Their pitching needs to get better.
Yeah.
Their pitching's been really bad.
Well, they really stifled Toronto. For most of just one game, they couldn't handle Toronto. That was it.
Yeah, but they're like their postseason ERA is like historically bad.
Yeah.
It's like 5.5.
Yeah.
The Mets
have the starters. That's for sure. They definitely had a pitcher.
David Murphy, who's Babe Ruth Jr.
Yeah. He's going to give him some kind of live. They win and stuff.
And he's conveniently a free agent after the year, by the way.
The what?
David Murphy's conveniently a free agent after the year.
Well.
So we'll get overpaid by somebody.
Yeah, the Mets will overpay him. They keep him around. So baseball is winding down to the end. We'll get some freezing
weather.
weather.
For the series now?
Well,
you said Royals in 5?
I like the Royals in 6, really. I like the Royals in 6, but I'll be looking at, tomorrow. I like the already side total is looking nice. It's 3.5. Even money up and down. So that's pretty much how it's
Royals in 6 is nice. Just for dramatic, I'll say Royals in 7.
Yeah. No, that makes good. That makes good TV.
Because Royals in 6 means they're winning. I think I'm pretty sure Game 6 will be on the road. Because they do the 2-2-1-1-1, right?
Yeah.
If that's the case, then they'll be on the road in Game 6. I'll just say they'll go with 7.
I think Royals home and away, it don't really matter to them the way they won this year.
The Mets are a slight favorite Game 1.
Yeah, I see that. Yep.
I'm going to stick to my original gun and say the Royals.
Yeah.
I picked the Royals before, and
you're the only one who's had a chance to be right.
5.
We would stupidly say that.
Yep.
5. Royals in 5.
Yeah. I was going for the dough.
I don't blame you.
Going for the dough.
Chase the money.
Chase the money.
It was an impromptu wall report intro. I didn't give you the heads up. But I'm always ready. I'm always ready for the wall report. You don't got to tell me twice. I'm up and running. Yes. We'll get to the wall report real quickly. Try to breeze by this as quickly as possible. I don't know if you saw
Take
this.
your time, man.
No, I don't know if it's a clock there. Strict deadline.
I just put a stop on. I put a stop on the clock. It's on hold right now.
All right.
Got a little bit of time.
3 dead, at least, unless I've been more confirmed. I don't know, since then, but 22 injured in the Oklahoma State homecoming. Did you see that?
It wasn't sports related, right? No way, no how. The girl was drunk, right?
She was drunk. I mean, it was like, it wasn't, I would assume it's the morning.
Yeah. Well,
why was she so drunk at 10 a.m.?
College, man.
Yeah, 10 a.m. I would see if it was like 5 a.m. or something.
Did you go to college?
But crazy. Yeah,
I went for 1 semester.
Yeah, I went for like a couple classes. That was it for me.
1 semester.
Art
college.
25-year-old female driver arrested for DUI. I mean, just the fact that she's female alone, I would assume she doesn't even need a DUI. She's a woman driver, right? Hey, guys.
Whoa,
hey, guys.
I got nothing to do with that, man.
I'm going home to a house of all females.
What are you, Republican?
Yeah, exactly.
Seahawks running back Fred Jackson crashed his Corvette while he was drag racing outside of the team practice facility. I don't. His Fred Jackson even had a carry. I don't even know why they brought him in. I think they brought him in solely as a favor to Marshawn Lynch because they're like best friends in real life.
I think he carries his luggage.
He might. He really might. Which is first of all, he drives a Corvette. I didn't know. I thought that was for like white 50-year-old midlife crisis men. Not
that new Corvettes are looking good though.
Well, no, because that's what the Challengers are for now. The Dodge Challengers.
But yeah, so I mean, drives a Corvette. But yeah, he do drag race on 17. So because why? That works so well for everybody else. Drivers. Cam Newton had a car accident. Although I don't think it was drag racing, but he just outside his practice facilities. A racing suit worn by Frankenstein Jenner during his 1982 celebrity.
Hey, well, Frankenstein's starting to catch on.
I like that.
A couple of people use that already.
So his racing suit worn during the 1982 celebrity Toyota Grand Prix. He won the race. He apparently was a race car driver before when he's murdering people. There's a lot of car accidents going on. But anyway, yeah, that went to auction. Starting good at $5,000. So if you want to have that hanging nicely in a nice little tribute to Caitlin, shelf for $5, $5,000. They're actually expecting to go up to $20,000. So get your checkbook out. Ray Lewis has a new book. He claims in this new book that there's no way he could have killed that guy in the Super Bowl, leading up to the Super Bowl in Atlanta.
No way.
He was dressed too nicely to kill people. So he defends it. He says that when you're wearing certain outfits, I had the mink on. I had this back when mink coats were all the rage
for men.
Yeah, I had the mink on. There's no way I would mess that up.
Shut up, man! Don't say nothing. Just let it. Why say anything?
Because he wants to sell the book.
Yeah, but he's got to.
People have put these books out. They say the most ridiculous things because they know it's to get the headline.
Yeah.
That's free promotion. Look, we're talking about Ray Lewis's book. Would we have known he had a book before this? Would we know that Ray Lewis could read and write before this?
Did we know that he was still wearing mink?
He probably is still wearing mink.
He does wear mink. He does some shows. He's got the mink on. Yeah.
It's like 50-year-old men, right? Gaudy with the pimps.
Yeah.
Erin Andrews, if you remember back in the 2008 incident of the Peeping Tom incident, the Marriott.
Yep.
She's redoing her lawsuit. She wants $75 million as a settlement for the Peeping Tom incident. First of all, I wouldn't pay $75 million for Erin Andrews.
Me neither, man. She's not even. I don't even like her, man. Something
Yeah,
about her.
Prime, she was cool. She was cool when she first showed up. She was like, oh, cool, attractive girl. No
She's
sports,
a man, baby.
No sports. And then after a while, I was like, oh, you really bought into her like badly.
You're interviewing the kid that caught the ball, caught the home run.
No.
Caught the home run in the Kansas City game. You see that the kid?
No.
Everybody.
I steer clear of Erin Andrews.
Well, she was first. She's the first. She interviewed him for
She was first on the scene?
Was it ESPN? I think.
It was Fox.
Fox. Yeah, Fox was doing the game.
Because she sold out. Yeah, she was bidding war between the two.
Yeah, and Joe Buckster had him go down there and interview, and kid caught the ball. He's the one who caught the ball over the fence. They said he was behind the fence.
Oh, like Jeffrey Mayer?
Yeah. Jeffrey Mayer.
Yeah, Orioles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's funny how you remember a kid's name from 20 years ago.
Like Barkman. What was it? Pac-Man?
Steve Bartman.
Bartman, yeah.
Pac-Man.
Yeah. Hey, Bartman, he got more fame this week with the Cubs. They even mentioned him a couple times on the air. No Bartman this year. Come on, man.
Speaking of Pac-Man, actually segmented nicely. Following the Bengals' 34-21 win over the Bills, Pac-Man just interviewed on NFL Network. He was NFL Network in the locker room, inadvertently shown many penises.
Oh, yes.
Have you not?
Many penises.
Many, yeah.
Not one,
apparently
plural.
Players were not happy about that at all.
Why not? Who gives a shit? Look at that, friends. Come on. It's YouTubage. Come on.
Now YouTube will put it in.
Did you say YouTubage?
YouTubage.
It's an adjective, a verb. But yeah, their players are very up. They don't want any more cameras in locker rooms ever. That's what they said. They want.
They got phones. They don't need cameras. Everybody's got a phone. Now with
those Periscope.
Periscope, yeah. Can you imagine that? I bet you can grab a Periscope right now or something. I might put my phone up here. We go on. We'll do next week. We're gonna put some Periscope on our pyramid.
Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy. He's becoming the new coaching son of the show. Greg Hardy gets the news at him every week. He got in a very heated confrontation with Des Bryant. That's the first video we got, which then we saw the even more heated one later that came out. It was because he was opening special teams coach's face, smacked a clipboard out of his hand, shoved him, tried to beat him up pretty much, essentially. Had to be restrained by his own teammates. Mid-game fighting in special teams. First of all, he doesn't play special teams, I'm assuming. I mean, you don't put $12.5 million DNs out in special teams. Why was he so animated? I mean, and of course, Jerry Jones defends him. I like he's a team leader.
He's a disgrace.
Awful Jerry Jones impression, but I mean, Greg Hardy. How can you defend this guy?
He comes off not spousal beating his girlfriend, gets off that, comes back.
He's been allowed to play twice in 2 weeks. He's mentioned Brady's wife's sister,
right?
And he's mentioned now he's trying to fight.
What the hell did he say about Brady's wife's sister?
He was just trying to provoke him during the game. He's like,
Oh, okay.
I don't know if she has to. That's what he said.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit her so hard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit Brady so hard. His wife's gonna feel it.
His wife's sister's gonna feel it.
Wife's sister's gonna feel it.
And for him, obviously he needs a manual manager. That's the first thing that he
remember. He didn't do it. Remember? He didn't do it. Because there's no way he would get angry at a cheating girlfriend.
No, unless she had a clipboard in her hand.
But he'll freak out trying to fight his coach in the middle of the game.
Reminds you of that guy. You ever see Friday Night Lights, the movie? The football player where the defensive guy's wearing that makeup on there.
Yeah, he wears like the weird.
Yeah, like the war.
No, it wasn't. You were thinking the program.
Oh, the program, right?
The program with James Conn was the coach, and he pulls it down,
Yeah,
and he realizes he's juicing again. He goes, "Go sit on the bench."
Yep, exactly.
He's got a skull painted on his face.
That's right. You knew it.
He eventually played. Adrian Peterson he wasn't listed on the injury report all week. Then randomly he showed up on there Saturday and Sunday as questionable. People didn't know what the reason was. Turns out what it was on the team flight to the game on Sunday or on Saturday, he actually swallowed his entire chew, his tobacco. Left him profusely vomiting. So, he's on an injury report. He was questionable. With illness is all it said. That's disgusting.
It was all bullying.
Yeah, if you do chew and tobacco, it's so disgusting. Ruben Amaro Jr., we mentioned last week, he wanted to get into coaching. Well, there you go. He's the new first base coach of the Boston Red Sox.
And you missed it. They added to the fact that he's going to be the guy that pitches BP. The BP pitching coach, and he's going to switch hands too because he can throw with both hands. He's ambidextrous.
He can make bad trades with both hands. He can send on his phone in both hands.
Has there ever been a general manager that went from general manager to coach? Not even managing the team.
I've never looked into it, but probably. We know the Marlins general manager named himself manager.
Yeah, but I mean a base coach, man. Really.
He's got to start from the bottom.
He sure does.
He should start from the bottom, like literally, a local, little league game.
He didn't want to go to AAA.
He's awful.
There's got to be no dough in that. What kind of money can you get paid to do that from going from a GM down to a base coach of a team that you don't even GM? You go to a completely different place. Where
probably not a great paycheck, I would assume.
And that was for the Marlins, you said?
No, it's the Red Sox.
Red Sox. Oh, there you go.
Nice kid.
Got hooked in there, somewhere.
Chargers announced that they will file relocation paperwork to move to LA in January.
Somebody's got to move to LA.
I don't know how.
Where?
They leave.
Oh.
Are we not NFL?
It's the NFL, not the NFL.
On a previous one, we mentioned East Mississippi College. This game where the referee got ejected. Well, they updated again. They were up 48-0 going into halftime. Other team was trying to run the clock out at halftime. They kept calling timeout to get one more possession up 40-0 with the second sub. Of course, that led to some tempers flaring. Of course, massive brawl ensued. Game are now. It's getting bad. On field is getting bad. We didn't hear these stories 5 years ago at all. Nope. Even as recently as just 5 years ago. Now, with kids hitting refs and kids hitting. All those kids are dying on it. Another kid died from Texas or something like that. Another kid died on the field. Crazy on the field. I'm thinking about I was just assuming I had a kid that make him play football. Not make him, but had to steer him toward football.
Baseball.
Maybe soccer and baseball is the way to go.
Yeah, there you go. You have a longer career.
And maybe you won't die on the field. Or get hit by a helmet.
Or wrestle, or be the other end of that.
Be the guy hitting the ref.
And visit him in jail.
Milwaukee Bucks forward John Henson believes he was a victim of racial profiling. He stopped into a jewelry store to buy some jewelry. They promptly locked the doors on him, called the police, because there was a 6'8" black man in the store with cash, trying to buy stuff. They assumed he was all stolen. They assumed he was a bad guy. turns out that he was ID'd. Hey, no, he's an NBA player. He has millions of dollars. Just signed a $45 million extension. But then they said, okay, that's fine. But they asked the police, can you just stick around until he finishes buying which one is protocol? And they started, after they apologized and said, it's just protocol.
It's pretty woman.
It's protocol to call the police and have him watch a guy make his purchase. First of all, the fact that he still made the purchase, I would be like, all right, I'm out of here. Like, you just lost my business.
Yeah,
But
really.
now you stuck around and bought it.
Every kiss doesn't begin with K.
No, it begins with police call. The NFL has fined Steelers defensive lineman Cameron Hayward roughly $6,000 for honoring his father on his eye patches. His father, of course, is Craig Ironhead Hayward, who died of cancer. So he wrote Ironhead on his two things, and the NFL fines him. Gotta love the NFL.
You gotta put them in there. Gotta give them $2.
And that money goes. We still haven't found out yet.
It goes to FanDuel and DraftKings.
Yeah, we still haven't found out yet.
Yet.
And all those pink bracelets and laces they're wearing. Yeah, we found out where that happened.
All the pink towels and stuff.
Don't worry about it. All 4% of your sales go towards
A part of 4%.
a part of 4%. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And finally, a Chinese toy company is selling a Nazi action figure. The action figure's name is Bastion. And again, you can check this out. We'll post this. His name is Bastion. He looks exactly like Manchester United's star forward, Bastian Schweinsteiger. Exactly like him, and they named him Bastion.
And he's
Of course, suing them because.
and he's a Nazi.
No, he's German.
No, I mean the toy is a Nazi.
Yeah, it's a Nazi.
Oh my god.
It's a Nazi toy. Named Bastion, looking exactly like Bastian Schweinsteiger.
Listen,
He's suing them, of course.
if they don't hack you, the Chinese, they're gonna make toys look like and you're gonna be like with the Fuhrer.
But you got me saying, obviously, I'll post on Twitter and I'll post on the wall report section of the SD Show website. But yeah, I mean, it's literally, it's impressive how spot on this toy looks exactly like this guy. So, of course, he's not happy about that.
That's funny.
And that's the law report.
How the hell did the Nazis get into the wall report?
Because it's China and they do crazy things out there. They just
Yeah.
sell Nazi toys.
Yeah, we beat China. I get China.
Not
You
for it.
watch any of that little fitness thing on there? I watched it. I was doing the room work down there.
I can't.
School does Republicans. I couldn't care less for her. I just find she sat there for 11 hours and she just,
I refuse to give her any time.
Well, it's not even that. It's the whole charade of the whole thing. Asking her questions, stuff like that. The whole fact that our government is wasting that much time, 11 hours in a day, just questioning her about stuff that, it's done, it's over with, whatever. If the American public didn't think that she did anything wrong, then we'll know in the election. If we do think she did something wrong, we'll vote against her. That's all it is. How these guys, these cronies up there questioning her like that, wasting our bucks when that was ridiculous for 11 hours. Just thought I'd bring that up because
Check out that toy, by the way.
Oh my god,
It's uncanny.
that is scary.
listen,
I'd sue
There's
too.
even a dimple.
Wait a minute, which one's the
The
toy?
side part.
I'm being serious. Which one is the toy?
This one.
Oh my god.
Look at the teeth on the one.
And it's one thing just happens to look like them, and they named him Hans. And
Yeah.
it's Sebastian. They named him after the guy. And actually, I forgot to mention, I'm glad we kept I showed the picture because brought me back on it. But here's the best part, the absolute best part of the story. Because obviously, people reached out to this company and said, what's the deal? And this is, so they said, well, to us, all Germans look alike.
No, stop.
It's on.
They do.
It said to us, all Germans look alike. And Bastion's just a common name. That is the most racist. Imagine if we said that. We put out an Asian thing. Yeah, to us, all Asians look the same, man. And Ming is a common name. Yeah, what do you
Here's the thing.
Hey, Wang!
Are these?
Don't tell them you're Jewish. Oh, it's a Caddyshack reference.
I know.
Oh, is that a Seinfeld?
No.
Oh, okay. He looked lost there for a second. I had to bail him
I
out.
don't watch these things.
Anyway, this is going to sell now because of this.
No, it's going to come off the shelves is what's going to do. They're facing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit.
We're going to do it on them dolls.
That's impressive.
Send them out to burn them when they
just change his outfit and just make him Bastian Schweinsteiger dolls. Put a man use uniform on him, boom.
Yeah.
No, he's not named after them. Why the hell does he come with a little soccer ball with a swastika on it?
That really looks like that's like
It looks
joke.
good. That's actually impressive.
Yeah, I want to see who making dollars looking that
I know.
good. I get one
Yeah.
myself.
You get one of us.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Star Wars figure action thing, and they didn't look even like remotely close.
I'll tell you what, Mike, you tell me who's the real dude.
That's what I said.
I do a double take.
Who's the real dude there? They get the
Impressive,
hair going.
impressive. Yeah, it's a. I mean, maybe it's just maybe the camera flips.
His teeth are too good too.
That's some solid choppers.
Yeah, pretty solid.
But anyway, before we get out of here, I just want to remind you guys that on Wednesday, Fantasy Football Show, which just goes live at 8 o'clock. Not only are we going to press before week 8 and give you about the winning players and the picks and the starts and sits, we're also going to tell you how to win free Temple Memphis tickets, 8 rows from the field. So that's presented by the Sports Goombahs.
We can away some Flyers tickets too in the next upcoming months. You know, some good 6-row behind the net seats for that.
They're great seats.
So stay tuned. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter as far as.
How about Temple, Philadelphia getting college game day?
Woo, sending chills through me. I'm not really a college football guy, but this is good stuff.
Tell you what, I'll throw in a gift card for them when you give away the tickets. We'll buy them lunch too.
Yeah,
That's nice.
that's going to hold up one of our new Sports Goombahs T-shirts, but I don't know what I do with it. I think I whacked Vic with it for knocking over some wires before I was setting up.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, guys, good show.
As always.
We covered every uniform as usual. Let me give a shout out to Stephanie D for promoting the show like she does. She's always liking our stuff there on Facebook all the time. Anything we put up there, she bangs up and puts it up nice like that. Appreciate the help. That's about it. I did mention my 120 today in golf.
That's all.
I know it's awful. That's why I mentioned it. It was good. I would have mentioned it, right?
I'm telling you, my 120 is a good game for me.
Sixers tip off tomorrow, boys. Another season's
That's the first game? I didn't even know that. Really?
Tomorrow night, yeah.
I didn't even.
Or no, sorry, Wednesday.
You mean follow?
That's a game of the start of it's going against the World Series. NBA start night is the same night
Yeah,
as the World
tomorrow,
Series.
tomorrow's the Cavs, all the good teams.
Oh, okay.
The
I
Warriors.
thought it was all tomorrow.
Then everybody else, the Sixers and the also Rams, start on Wednesday.
All right. That'll about do it for us. We'll see you next week. When the Eagles play next Sunday, right? No, they're off. They're off.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll talk about it next week. Thank God.
I
I think it's beautiful.
That's why we're giving these tickets away this
Yeah.
week. Gotta have
That's right.
something to do.
Talking about the Temple Owls. College ball on the Sports Goombahs beat.
Yeah.
Never thought that. All right, Cassidy King. Got the chef to the left, Brenda B. This is the Sports Goombahs. We thank you for joining us. Thank our sponsors, BZI Group Insurance, Graph FX, Auto Magic Car Care, and of course, Castle Public Adjusters. Have a good one. We'll see you next week.